The freedom of worship is not fully applied like it should be in America today. At many schools, when children express their religion in any way, it is frowned upon. In 6th grade, one of my friends asked if she could hand out a flyer promoting a documentary called Walking on Water. The documentary was made by 2 Christian surfers that were sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ through their movies. When my friend asked the teacher if she could pass out the flyers, my teacher said that she would need to check with the principal to see if they are okay to hand out. This scenario is a great example among many others that show how the freedom of worship is not fully applied in America. Freedom of speech and expression is one of the freedoms that you see in action often. While spending a week in Washington, D.C. on a missions trip with some kids from my church, the freedom of speech and expression was being displayed right in front of our eyes. We were leaving from a trip to the Supreme Court building, and we saw a group of older teenagers that were standing in a line on the steps. Their mouths were sealed with a piece of red duct tape that had the word life written across it. After we had walked about a block away from the scene, our missions trip leader explained it to us, what they're doing. Another example that everyone in America was affected by was the writer's strike. During the period of the time that the writers went on strike, most of the shows on television were reruns. The freedom of speech and expression is still applied in America today with no problem. But the freedom from one is having a few issues with our current economical problem. At the moment, our nation is in a bit of a financial crisis. Most are calling it a recession, and a select few are calling it a depression. The unemployment rate for the nation has gone up tremendously. In October, it was 6.5% in the United States. Virginia is tied for the 8th lowest unemployment rate out of the 50 states. Virginia's unemployment rate in October was 4.4%. Wyoming is the first on the list, and Rhode Island is the last on the list. As a result of where we stand as a nation, a lot of Americans are wanting. The war in Iraq is a current problem that affects the 4th freedom, freedom from fear. At the time in which this freedom was created, America had just come out of the world wars, and like many other countries, we feared another world war. A current problem that might stir fear in American citizens is terrorist attacks. The terrorist attacks from September 11, 2001, left Americans fearing another attack. This replicates the fear of another world war, causing the freedom from fear to still have some part in American lives today. As you can see, 3 out of the 4 freedoms instituted by Franklin Delano Roosevelt do apply to Americans today, as they did to Americans in the late 20th century. The freedom of worship will take some time to be fully applied as more people with different cultures come to America.